today's topic is, if you know without question that you do not want to do what you are doing right now for the rest of your life or for the next 10 or 20 years, then what do you do? Okay, that question came up actually. Like I said, I'm always talking to various different professionals. I'm always engaging to kind of hear, what's on people's minds, what issues and challenges they're facing with career. And this is one that came up today. And so I wanted to kind of come on and give you three things to think about. Three things to think about if you are doing a job right now, but you've said to yourself, there's no way, I just don't see myself doing this for the next 10 or 20 years. I really need to find work that is fulfilling to me. That is actually, like I said, the exact quote that the gentleman that I was engaged with said. He said, I've been doing what I've been doing for the last 25 years, but I really want to find something more fulfilling. What would that look like? So again, wanted to come on and share three little tips. So first of all, let me just differentiate between job security and job fulfillment. Those are two very, very different things. And so you have to actually ask yourself, am I looking for job security or job fulfillment? Okay, so let me break down what the difference is. Job security is a job where for the most part that job is not going anywhere. For the most part, that you can count on a check day in, day out. For the most part, that this is not an industry that is prone to a restructuring or prone to downturn. So for the most part, you would say that you would have a measure of job security in these particular roles. So these are some of the trades. These are maybe most people think that technology and some of these types of roles might be more along the job security line. But I think what this year has shown us in 2020 is that there really is no such thing as job security. Yes, there are some jobs that are going to be more long-term than others, but the days of, a company being around for 30 or 40 years, I think we can safely say that those days are probably gone, okay? So there is a distinct difference between job security and job fulfillment. You have to figure out which one you want, okay? Because job security just means I'm going to go out and find a job that I know I can get paid. I know I'm going to get a check. And I know that they're going to be around for a while. That doesn't mean you're going to be happy. That doesn't mean you're going to be fulfilled. But if that's what you want, okay, nothing wrong with that. You have to distinguish between that and job fulfillment. Job fulfillment is where you're using your gifts, your strengths, you're passionate about it, you love the mission. Like I said, you would do it for free, okay? But you don't have to, okay? But job fulfillment is where you're deeply fulfilled, you're deeply passionate, you love what you do because, again, at the core, it's what you were made to do. You're serving people that you love to serve, or you're doing work that you love to do, and you're deeply fulfilled. And so obviously you still need to get paid, but again, the money is not the number one thing. So the first thing that you want to determine, if you're in a job right now and you're thinking to yourself, I cannot stay here for the rest of my life, what's my next step? You need to distinguish between, am I looking for job security or job fulfillment? Okay, because those are two different paths. So make sure you distinguish that. So that's number one. Number two, a lot of times when I am working with people and, they'll say to me, I'm looking for meaningful work. I'm looking for work that has purpose. Their mind automatically goes to not-for-profits. Their mind goes to, well, I want to do something that's meaningful, but I have to get paid. I can't work for a not-for-profit. There's not a lot of money to be made in not-for-profits. Well, let me just share with you that there are tons of jobs out here. Whether we're talking about a job, whether we're talking about a side hustle, whether we're talking about even starting your own business, there are tons of ways to get paid for what you actually enjoy doing. I think that we've all been trained that all the work that's meaningful is the work where you can't make any money. You have to go into investment banking, or you have to be a doctor or a lawyer in order to make any money. And there's no money to be made in anything that's meaningful, where you're actually helping people's lives. And that's just a lie. That is just a lie. Again, having been in this business world for a number of years, there are people out here doing exactly what they were meant to do, really adding value to people's lives, and they're not doing it for free. They are doing it. They are getting paid to do it. So the second thing that you want to consider The second thing that you really want to be aware of is that you don't have to go to a there's nothing wrong with not-for-profits. I love not-for-profits. I support them all the time. But again, you want to just kind of step back from the position that in order to do something meaningful or in order to find work that I find deeply fulfilling, I have to join a not-for-profit. I have to work for little to nothing. I have to do it for free, because that is just not true. Okay? So that's point number 2. Okay, again, today's talk is if you know you can't do your current job for the next 10 to 20 years, just be aware of the fact that there is meaningful, fulfilling work out there that you can get paid for and get paid well for. Okay? And then number three is you really have to get over this mentality of get something quick. This get something quick mentality. And so what do I mean by that? You know, we have get rich quick schemes, right? Lose 30 pounds in 3 days, right? All of this, getting these amazing results in this short period of time. Okay, I think deep down we understand that nothing of value, nothing of lasting value can be had quickly. And so you actually have to do the work of figuring out who you are, understand yourself. A lot of times, like I said, we get started with our careers and, after college, we're not really sure what we want to do. A lot of us, or if you didn't go to college after high school, you just go pick up the first job that will pay the bills. And a lot of times we get stuck in that pay the bill types of jobs and never really explore, what our gifts are, what our talents are, what our passions are. We never, really dream and think past paying a bill. But you have to take some time and do the deep work of understanding who you are. And so let me just kind of share with you. I personally have gone through this process, and I've helped many people go through this process of determining who you are and what is going to be that thing that's going to help you find that work that is deeply fulfilling. And there are 7 areas that I know for certain that you have to look at. Not to say you have to look at them all at one time. Maybe you just pick one and focus intently on that one area. But the fact of the matter is, you do have to start looking at different areas of your life in order to figure out what's going to be deeply fulfilling to you so that you don't get stuck in a rut. You don't get stuck in a position and, feel like you don't know what else to do, but you know that you don't like where you are. So the 7 areas that I want to just kind of touch on a little bit is, first of all, you have to do an inventory of what are the skills that energize you most. Okay, as a part of the work that I do, I always have my clients sit down and separate out what is work that you find energizing and what is work that you find draining, a grind. You know what it is. Like I said, I'm not talking about work that you can do. I'm not even talking about if you can do it well. My point is, you need to sit down, think about the skills that you're using, and think about the stuff that you get energized just thinking about it. You love doing it. You could do it all day. And think about the stuff that it's just like, it's a chore to get up and do it. It has to be done, but it is a chore to get up and do it. It is a grind, and it drains your energy. You need to sit down, write down all your skill sets, and literally categorize them by energize versus drain. That's going to be one step toward finding work that is fulfilling. The next thing you need to do is take an inventory of your gifts. And what are gifts? Gifts are things that, you were born with. They you were just given these things, and they're inside of you. A lot of times we miss our gifts because they are so effortless. They're something that comes so naturally to us that we miss our gifts. I mean, I am, when I'm looking at, I work with a lot of analytical people with high IQs in the math area. And it's like they're sitting down and math just comes so easily to them, and it's just like nothing to them. But that's not the case for me. I mean, I had to work triple, quadruple hard, really, just to get the B's and the A's that I got in my math classes. But the fact of the matter is, a gift is something that comes so naturally to you that, again, you can miss it. You have to sit down and think through what comes naturally to me. What do I have? What am I naturally drawn towards? What are people always coming to me for? Ask yourself some of these key questions, because if you can understand what your gifts are, then again, that's another indicator of work that's going to be very deeply fulfilling to you. Another thing you should consider, personality. Again, if you've worked in corporate America for any length of time, you've probably taken any number of personality assessments, but it is important to make sure that you're taking these personality assessments and reviewing them to understand, again, at your core, who are you? At your core, who are you and what makes you tick? Again, you need to know how you work with other people. You need to know if you're the type of person who needs to always be learning, or who needs an environment that's dynamic and vigorous and fast-paced, then you need to know that, because if you go to a company where it's super routine and standard and nothing ever changes, you're going to be deeply unhappy. So you really want to understand from a core personality standpoint, who you are as a person, and really vet companies based on, if there are opportunities to really express yourself in terms of your personality. And there are a ton of them out there: MBTI, Strength Finders, DISC, a ton of them out there. They're free ones all over the internet. So start understanding what that personality part of you is, so that, again, you can kind of understand what type of work is going to be deeply fulfilling. Next, your values. You really need to understand what you value at your core, okay? And so when I say values, the values are the things that you live by, meaning these are non-negotiable. If somebody comes up to you and says, I need you to go against or compromise this in terms of a value, it's not even something you think about. You know that without question, who you are is wrapped up in your values. And so it's not something you're going to turn your back on. You have to know what your values are. So for example, if you know, again, that outdoors is something you deeply, deeply value, and you can't imagine being stuck, in a cubicle or being stuck in a room for 8 hours a day, that is something that's going to tell you what work is going to be deeply fulfilling for you. Again, going back to the example, if you know you're the type of person who needs to constantly be learning, reading, doing new things, and again, you get into a situation or a work situation where there's nothing new to be learned, they literally just want you to keep doing the same thing over and over again, you already know that that's not going to be a good situation. So you need to understand what your values are in order to move forward. Vision. Now this is one that a lot of people kind of discard, or they kind of put on the back burner, again, as we get caught up in what I call paying the bills, okay? Vision is, what are your dreams? What when you look 20 years out, what do you see? The other way that I like to kind of put this is, if today you got a check that covered every single one of your bills, literally everything, your house, your car, every single bill was paid down to zero, and then on top of that they gave you $1 million, what would you do with that? Okay, sit down and actually think about that. Write that out. Again, all your bills are paid, your entire family's bills wiped out, and on top of that you have $1 million. What would your life look like? Okay, that's where vision comes in. You need to have a vision for your life, because if you don't, what happens is you get stuck in the day-to-day rut routine, and what happens is day one ends up being 60 years down the line. So 60 years later, you look exactly the same way you did pretty much, when you started, 60 years prior. So you have to have a vision that's constantly stretching you and pushing you to move to that next level. So again, super, super important that you have that vision. And then limiting beliefs, okay? These are those beliefs that, we grew up, all of us grew up in different environments. Hi, Irene. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining. We all grew up in different environments, and depending on the environment that we grew up in, there might have been things that people said that we couldn't do. We might have been called certain names that obviously did not line up with who we are, okay? We might have been in environments, poor environments that, conditioned our minds to scarcity and lack. Okay, vice versa. Some people grow up, understanding, who they are as people. They have an abundance mindset because that's what they grew up in. But whatever you grew up in, sometimes because you heard that over and over again, year after year, that sometimes gets internalized, and without even knowing it, you set limiting beliefs on yourself. I'm not as smart as that next person. I could never, be the CEO of a company. I could never do XYZ. Whatever that is for you, whatever comes up for you. Limiting beliefs are another thing that you have to really deal with, because those things will keep you from actually finding work that is fulfillment. They will keep you from actually going after something different. And if you don't ever actually explore and get yourself exposed to different things, then you will, never fully know what what work is fulfillment to you. You can only, if all you've done is all you know, then how can you even know what's going to be fulfilling to you? Okay, hopefully that made sense. But my point is, you have to have a vision for your life. You have to sit down and think about, what do I want my life to look like different from where it looks like today? And then the last thing, who do you serve? Again, if nothing else, think about, who are you most drawn to in the world? What is the people group that you really feel like you want to make an impact on their lives? I mean, some people, they know from a young child that I want to be a teacher. I love children. Some people know from a young child that, hey, I want to be a veterinarian, or I want to work with animals because I just love all things animals. Some people know, from a child that, hey, I want to be in landscaping because I love plants and gardens and all of these different things. Some people know, I love money, and so I know I'm going to be in business. I know I'm going to be an entrepreneur. What is, who are the people you love to serve? And so when you think about those people that you love being around, who energize you, who you really want to help, whatever that help looks like, that can also be a clue as to what's going to be deeply fulfilling to you. So again, I just wanted to come on today and really kind of address that question. If you know that you cannot do the work that you are doing today for the next 5, 10, or 20 years, then there are some things that you can really do in order to make sure that you have a plan for how to move out of that. Do not just stay where you are. Do not just settle, okay? Number one, consider if you want job security or job fulfillment. Number two, understand that going after meaningful, deeply fulfilling work does not mean that you have to be broke, okay? It doesn't mean that there's no money. There is definitely money in it. And number three, take some time to understand yourself. Again, I gave you 7 key points that you can look at in order to understand what fulfillment might look like for you.